Outside of my apartment today, they were setting off fireworks earlier today. There's a truck taking off right now as I start talking outside of my apartment. And there was also a truck taking off right when I turned my lights on. Like I just woke up a minute ago. It's like 11:20 p.m. and there's nothing going on outside. Like I looked out my window, there's nothing going on out there. And then I close the blinds and turn the lights on, and then I hear a truck outside. And then it was quiet again, and then right when I start talking on the video, I hear a truck outside. But today, though, they were setting off fireworks outside my apartment. It had to be gang stalkers, and it seemed like it was synchronized. And it's October, so it's illegal to set off fireworks in October. So it had to be the gang stalkers, I would assume. And I heard synchronized fireworks back in September, August, or whatever it was, when I was on a delivery. So I think it was gang stalkers because it was right outside my apartment and it seemed like it was synchronized. And they're just setting off firecrackers out there. Just like a bundle of firecrackers were going off outside of my apartment. So that happened today. And then yesterday I was walking around and these two children come out. One's on a bike and one's on a scooter. And the one on the scooter rides right up to the edge of the driveway, right by the sidewalk, and he just stands there by the sidewalk and he's just staring at me as I walk by. He's just like a little child, like, I don't know how old, like 10 years old or something. He just rides up and just stands there at the sidewalk and just stares at me. He's just standing there staring at me like. So it's just weird. Like little children are just staring at me and like giving me weird looks and like bullying me, you know? This is kind of weird, like. Like I'm just getting bullied by little children everywhere I go. They just give me weird looks. And then what else happened? Well, that was right before I went to that park, and then there's that kid crying synchronized with me pressing buttons on my phone. And like when I walked up to the park, there was a white car in the parking lot, and it pulled out right as I walked by it, and then right like immediately after that, this other car pulls up and parks right next to me. As I'm walking to the bench in the park, where like usually if I go over there, I go over and sit on that bench, so they probably knew that's where I was going. And this car just came up and parked right next to me as I walk over there. And then right as I sit down, they're getting out of the car, and it's that mother with her child. And then they just sit over at the park the whole time I'm there. Like they're just playing over at the playground, which is like right over by that bench. You know, like there's nobody there when I got there, but they they just pull up right when I get there. And then yeah, and then he just started crying and being like ah, and like making noises like every time I press a button. But then he's like crying. It sounded like he was like hurt. I don't know. But he kept crying every time I would press a button on the phone. I swear there's something else weird that happened, but I forget. There's just always weird things happening. Oh, and then, like the other night, I was just sitting in my apartment, and like, usually when I get the whatever you call it, frequency weapon or directed energy weapon or whatever it is, usually when that thing happens, it's just like ringing in my ears. But the other night, it felt like more intense. It felt like I don't know. It's just like it feels like they're like radiating my brain. Like it doesn't hurt, but it just feels like feel like they're scrambling my brains or something. I don't know. Like it doesn't feel good, but it doesn't hurt really. But it's like it doesn't feel like it's like it feels like they're doing something. You know, I don't know. But it was kind of like more intense than usual, and it just kind of like hit me across the head. Just like suddenly, you know, and then, but it didn't last very long though. But then it happened again, like yesterday or whatever, the day before that or something. But it doesn't happen like all the time. But then sometimes it'll be like multiple days in a row, or like multiple times a day, even. But they're probably doing it when I'm asleep, just because I don't know. I just feel like that's probably the best time to do it is when you're just laying down in a bed, you know? You're just laying in one place. I don't know, whatever it is, it's probably not good for me, you know? So I got people radiating me, so that's cool, you know? You know, it's just nothing I can do about it. I can't go to the police and be like, somebody's radiating me. You know, and then I'm gonna get there and the guy with the controller is the police officer. So you know, basically just rest of my life I gotta deal with being stalked and radiated. Cause it's the cops doing it, so. Or, you know, they're in on it, is what I mean. But yeah, and then I forgot at the start of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I forgot to say a couple things about that movie. That opening scene where it's falling into the clouds. Like I said that I think it's a metaphor for chemtrails. Like it falls into the clouds, and then the next shot is a tower, like a radio tower, or like a cell phone tower. You could look at it like that. Like it looks like a cell phone tower, like a 5G tower or something. You know? So it goes from the cloud to like lower into the cloud, and it just shows this tower. So, you know, it's like it's going from the cloud to the tower to the ground, to the people on the ground. And then the white truck at the start, you know, it cuts from that to the Golden Gate Bridge to a white truck driving down the street. And the white truck literally says white on the front of it. So I just think that, I don't know. Like, I just always see white cars, and I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. And then there's also the scene where they're driving in the car, and a car honks right as it drives by them, and she like looks out the window at it. Like just the whole movie, like every scene. There's gang stalker things happening. Like all the people walk away from each other, and right as they walk by each other, like right as one guy walks in front of the other, he's walking away behind him. Like they're all synchronizing like they do in real life. But yeah, you know, I think they spray the nanoparticles and the chemtrails, and then they come down, and then, you know, the 5G signals are attached to that. So I think that the star of the movie is like a metaphor for that. Because it's this cottony material taking off from the alien planet that's falling into the clouds, like chemtrails being sprayed into the clouds, and then it falls to Earth. And then everybody turns into a gang stalker. So I posted up that Alice Cooper album cover on here. The album is called Billion Dollar Babies, and it's an album cover that, well, they changed the official album cover from that, but that's the original album cover. And they're all just standing around holding rabbits, and then I guess is Alice Cooper, whoever's in the middle, he's holding a baby. And the baby has panda eyes. And rabbit ears is a symbol for adrenochrome, for the adrenochrome molecule, because it looks like rabbit ears. And they use rabbit ears in a lot of different things. And Macaulay Culkin, like his website, he's got rabbit ears on, and he has that pizza band and everything. And he's a weirdo. But rabbit ears is a symbol for adrenochrome molecule, and so they're all standing around holding rabbits. Everybody else is holding a rabbit. He's holding a baby in the middle, and there's stacks of money on the table, and the baby has panda eyes. And the album is called Billion Dollar Babies. And then there's also the Beatles album cover where they're all just like, they all got baby doll heads around them, and then like a bunch of meat just like hanging off of them. Like all the members of the band are just sitting there. They got meat hanging off of them and like baby doll heads. So it looks like baby carcasses are just like laying all over their bodies. I forget what album that is, but that's a Beatles album cover. Just look up Baby Beatles album cover and it'll come up. So that's just crazy. I don't know. Oh yeah, and then Home, because I was talking about Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone, or Home Alone 2, I think. One of those. There's a pizza scene in that movie, which is pretty much exactly like the one in E.T., where he drops the pizza on the ground. Doesn't he drop it on the ground or something? It's pretty much like the scene in E.T., like he's like smashing the pizza, and it's like, it's symbolic. And you know, it's crazy. Like they like raise him up into it. Like child Macaulay Culkin is probably a victim, you know, but then he becomes one of them when he gets older, and he's one of them now. This is like it's just like a the culture that they're raised up in. Like the if you've ever seen the Hempstead children interviews, it's like that. But he has this website and like his Instagram page and everything where he has all this weird symbolism. And he has that band that's called like whatever pizza something. And he hangs out with Seth Green and shit. Anyway. There's a lot of different celebrities that like they just post weird things on their Instagram all day. Like they're just always posting like pizza symbolism stuff and stuff like that all day. Like Chrissy Teigen and the guy from The Office, whatever his name is, Dwight, whatever that guy's name is, I forget. He's always posting weird ass stuff on his Instagram. A lot of different celebrities are just right in your face, you know? look like a serial killer? How do I look like a serial killer? And then this movie, which came out in 1971, they're talking about adrenochrome right at the start of it, which I've already mentioned on here, I think, but just wanted to say that again. They literally say the word adrenochrome. They're literally talking about it at the start of it. Like I think it goes more in depth in the book or something. I haven't ever read the book, but they lace the milk that they drink with adrenochrome and other drugs. And it says on the wall, it says like Drenchrome or something like that. It's like whatever language it is on the wall, Latin or whatever. So I just think that's crazy how, that movie came out in 1971. And whenever the book came out, they're talking about it in the book. And then they're talking about it in Fear and Loathing. And then there's a whole documentary on Hunter S. Thompson. And there's a truck outside right now going, "Sss," and he's probably gang stalking me. But there's a whole documentary about Hunter S. Thompson that's on BitChute that you can go look up. That, I don't know, there's this interview with this guy. It seems like real. It seems like it's real watching the documentary, but it's just this interview with this guy who says that when he was a kid, Hunter S. Thompson took him and this other kid out in the desert or whatever, or out in the woods somewhere. And yeah, I don't even want to say what happened, but it's graphic and disturbing. Basically, the theory is that Hunter S. Thompson was like an adrenochrome, or he's like a snuff filmmaker. He'd videotape it and then sell the videotapes or whatever, and then he's an adrenochrome salesman or something for Hollywood. Because he's friends with a bunch of Hollywood people. He's friends with Johnny Depp. But I don't know. There's just a whole documentary on it, though. I don't really know how much of it is true or not, but it's kind of weird. And then he's the one doing the adrenochrome and Fear and Loathing. And then the guy says that he bought it from a Satanist. And that, yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's a weirdo. And then he was on whatever talk show. He said something about how he likes killing people. What else? Yeah, there's this truck outside. He's a gang stalker. I just know he is, so let's see what he does. He's getting out of the truck. And then he's walking around the truck. And then nothing. All right. He's the one guy that works there that's not a gang stalker, I guess. Nice. Nice. There's a guy that works there that's not a gang stalker. There's hope. I don't know, he's probably doing something. He's probably syncing up with the machine out my window or something. I just wasn't aware of what was happening or whatever. I don't know. Maybe not. This movie's kind of crazy. I still haven't watched the whole thing yet, but that movie's kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. I like YouTube. I like doing YouTube. Yes, both. YouTube's still cool. There's a lot of censorship going on YouTube that's retarded, but other than that, It's still pretty cool. It's still one of the best websites. So I fucks with YouTube, but they're removing a bunch of predator catcher videos, so that's kind of stupid. And they remove a bunch of true factual conspiracy theory stuff, so that's kind of stupid. You know, so-called conspiracy theories that are actually facts. Because not every conspiracy is a theory. So those things are kind of stupid, but at least they keep gang stalking videos up. So that's cool. Or, I don't know, do they censor gang stalking videos too? They haven't, I mean, for me anyway. Oh yeah, and then at the start of Fear and Loathing, he's at the hotel, and there's a guy on the phone, and he's like, if you listen closely to what he's saying, you can barely hear what he's saying, but if you turn the volume up, the guy on the phone is like, yeah, they just had this girl out in the parking lot, and they threw her in a van and punched a bunch of holes in her, and I think they were after her phenochrome. So yeah, I don't know. It's just this is crazy. Oh, and then a thing that I forgot to say about the Goonies is that the guy on the Goonies is called One Eye Willie. Like the whole movie is just like sex puns and stuff. And like the dialogue in like Spielberg's movies is like sex puns. Like it's like children. Like on E.T., he like calls him penis breath, and then like on Poltergeist, she's like calling her brother a jerk off and stuff like that. Like the dialogue is like all a bunch of sexual shit that child actors are saying. And then there's child actors gluing a statue penis onto the statue in the Goonies. a lot of things going on. I don't know. What's up with y'all? Anybody in here that's not a troll or a bot? Well, now we got 4 people in here. What's up, guys? But yeah, what's some other movies? I know there's other movies out there that I forgot about or that I haven't seen or whatever. Anybody gonna say anything? Else I'm gonna get off. Anybody got a question or a troll comment or a regular comment? Anybody got any comments or questions or anything? Otherwise, I'm probably gonna end the video because I ran out of things to talk about or whatever. I mean, I could keep talking, but I don't know what to talk about right now. I just think it's weird how like they just I don't know. They just brag in our face all day. They just they just make album covers like $1 billion babies and just brag in your face all day. It's kind of fucked up. And like what happened to that baby, you know, and like what happened to the children from the Balenciaga photo shoot. Like, where are they? Are they dead? Do they turn them into shoes? Or what? Like, you look at those children on that Balenciaga photo shoot, and they look like uncomfortable in their face. Like, they look like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably gonna get off of here. And then probably right when I do, I'm gonna hear a truck drive by outside or something. Or I'm just gonna hear that. I'm gonna hear that thing turning on and off. Or my refrigerator's gonna turn on. Or my toilet's gonna turn on or something. Some sound effect's probably gonna go off right when I turn the camera off. Oh, and then my toilet, whenever I flush my toilet, it'll just stay on, and then right when I like finish washing my hands, or right when I flick the light switch off, or right when I walk out of the bathroom, or right when I do something like that. There's a truck outside, and I think he's a gang stalker right now. But right when I do something like that, my toilet will just suddenly turn off. It'll just stay on, like it's filling up with water, you know? But then right at that moment, it'll turn off. It's just every time it does that. And then just periodically throughout the day, it'll just turn on randomly. Synchronize with me, not randomly. So that might happen. My refrigerator might turn on. I don't know. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe someone will walk out in the hallway all of a sudden. You know, and it's like kind of thin walls, and like I can hear them through the door too. So it's like when people walk by in the hallway, they use that sound to gang stalk me. Or just the door slamming in the hallway. Or someone coughing through the walls, my neighbor coughing through the walls, or just talking. My neighbor's just always talking, synchronized over there. Like he's talking on the phone or whatever. But he'll just start talking synchronized. And then he'll just like say things synchronized. But like I can't hear what he's saying though or whatever, but like, or he'll just like tap on, like I just always hear him like tapping, just like, but he's like, I think he's like making food or something, but he's always doing that synchronized. And then this one guy that used to live here that moved out, he was always laughing through the wall synchronized. And then like I said, I walked by someone's apartment the other night and they were blowing their nose right when I walked by. Or like a lot of times people are coughing right when I walk by. Just like the door on their apartment is closed, but like I hear it coming through the door right as I walk by. You know, I don't hear anybody coughing as I walk up the hall, but then right when I walk by their door, I hear someone coughing. Or the other night, I was walking down a street by these houses, and it's just quiet, completely quiet. And then right as I walk by someone's house, I hear someone coughing in the house. And then I don't hear them coughing as I'm walking up to the house and as I'm walking past the house. I just hear them coughing right as I walk by the window of the house. And then I came out of Healthworks today and there was 2 white cars driving in front of me at the door, and then 2 white cars driving in front of me at the street, and then like a few other gang stalkers in between that, I think, driving by. Just like 10 of them within like 5 seconds, you know? But like I come out the door and there's 2 white cars at the door, and then there's 2 white cars right at the sidewalk. And then I look left as I'm walking up to the sidewalk, and there's this guy coming on a skateboard, and he rides right by me right as I walk out. It's it was retarded. It's just the guy on the skateboard right when I come out. He's riding right by me on the sidewalk. And then every night when I'm sleeping, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll hear noises outside right as I wake up. You know, right after I wake up. It's not the sounds waking me up. I have to keep after repeating that point because it's not the sound waking me up. It's right after I wake up. Like immediately after. So it'll be like those truck noises that I heard a minute ago. It'll be something like that. You know, it'll be the beeping or the tss, or a garbage truck making noises, or a siren, or some other type of car, a loud truck, someone slamming a dumpster lid, someone having a loud conversation, laughing and yelling or whatever. Or whatever, you know, whatever type of sound. Someone walking by in the hallway. Like every time I wake up, and then when I wake up in the morning, 99% of the time, there's sound. But usually, if it's in the middle of the night, I'll just like roll over and go back to bed. I don't care anymore. In a way, like it's still annoying, but like I'm just like whatever. There's a siren going off again. Whatever. I'm going back to bed. But sometimes they're really obnoxious though, and really loud, even late at night. Anyway, I'm out.